Rise, Meg.
The Force will be with you.
Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. I hope you're all having an amazing day. In the midst of this very quiet time for Star Wars while we wait for the Bad Batch, we're going to be covering a rumour that's popped up over the last 24 hours. We're also going to be talking about Star Wars Lando and C-3PO as well. As always my dear friends, before I dive into it, please may I ask you to hit like down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new and a huge welcome if you are, and please be sure to give that notification bell a good old tickle to be alerted each and every time that I post new content to the channel. Someone asked me how the notification bell feels about being tickled, and I can tell you firsthand it absolutely loves it. So as Palpatine would say, do it. And without any more jibber jabber, let's just dive straight into it. Lucasfilm reportedly wants more Star Wars movies characters in the Mandalorian universe. This is a rumour which basically translates to they want to add more cameos into Season 3. As well as, of course, Ahsoka, the Book of Boba and Rangers as well. When I first read the article, I was skeptical based on the sketchy nature of rumours such as this one. But when I clicked on the source link, it does seem to have a bit more weight behind it. But as always, take everything with a pinch of salt because nothing is confirmed at this stage. So let me read it for you. Lucasfilm are rumoured to be looking to add more familiar characters to the Mandalorian universe in order to win over fans and to connect the saga of 9 movies to the hit Disney Plus series. Filoni and Favreau dazzled audiences when Luke Skywalker appeared in the Season 2 finale, but now they're looking to double the wow factor for the series by including more well-established characters from the Skywalker saga. Tim Williams, who is a source that is close to Lucasfilm, stated that the studio are very aware of the pressure they're under to deliver something spectacular, especially after the bar was raised in The Mandalorian Season 2. While no characters have been named explicitly to make an appearance, it would be reasonable to assume that Han Solo, Leia Organa, Lando Calrissian and Chewie would be high on the list of characters likely to appear. As you guys are probably aware, a few weeks ago there was a rumour circulating that Han Solo and Qi'ra would appear at some point in the Mandalorian universe, so this rumour isn't too far-fetched, and of course we're dealing with a time period after Return of the Jedi, so in a way it's inevitable that we will see characters or species that we're already familiar with. My issue with this is that The Mandalorian might be relying too much on fan service. What made Season 2 so special was that we had Bo-Katan, Ahsoka Tano and Luke Skywalker in the framework of an excellently written show. Season 3 and the Mandoverse now needs to take a new and exciting direction. It can't become a show where we just get cameos and it's a big reunion party. It needs to do fan service in the right way by including those characters, but also having a very solid plot from the get-go. And you know what? I can really understand the people who don't like this idea because The Mandalorian Season 3 needs to expand on the world building, take us to new planets, show us new species, show us new characters, get us to like them, get us on board, but don't count on the fact that fans love these characters from the Skywalker saga, because a lot of their stories have already finished and adding them could be a detriment and could ruin our perception of those characters. So they need to do it in the right way where they approach it with delicacy and obviously respect for Star Wars and everything George Lucas built. But Favreau and Filoni have been absolutely incredible in driving the fandom and the franchise in the right direction. In Filoni we trust, as we say. What I'm going to add personally on this matter is I really don't want them to add Princess Leia to the equation. She's the one character out of respect for Carrie Fisher that they should not tamper with. Even if they decide to do a CGI, I think that would really ruin it. The reason I don't feel the same way about Luke Skywalker is we never got a post-Return of the Jedi Luke that really resembled George Lucas's vision until, of course, The Mandalorian Season 2 finale. And that's why I was so happy with it, because it was the right direction for the Luke that we've come to know and love from the original trilogy. And Mark Hamill gave his stamp of approval and voiced him, and it was all fine and dandy. So yeah guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you want to see more original trilogy characters in the Mandalorian universe? Or do you think it's cameo fan service overkill? I can't wait to hear all your thoughts, and let's move on to our next article. We're going to be talking about C-3PO, specifically the actor Anthony Daniels. So back in November, he reported that he'd be very interested in playing a role in The Mandalorian. Well, the other day in a French interview on radio, he talked about how he's been doing voice work for C-3PO. While I can assume it's not for The Mandalorian, it's most likely for the Star Wars A Droid Story show, which is poised to be released in 2023. This is just something I'm going to touch on briefly, but all I want to say is, if anyone should return in The Mandalorian, I'd really love to see 3PO again, with Anthony Daniels in the suit. So now we're going to talk about the Lando Calrissian series. As you guys know, I talk a lot about Mando, I talk about Rangers of the New Republic, Ahsoka and so on, but one show which I haven't dedicated any time to is Lando. So let's talk about everything we know and then characters we can expect to see, in a kind of speculation style thing. Star Wars Lando is an upcoming Lucasfilm and Disney Plus series. It will focus on Lando Calrissian during an unknown part of the Star Wars timeline. And herein lies the debate, will we see Donald Glover as Lando or will it be Billy D. Williams? A lot of people think it might even be both, and we might go back and forth between young Lando and old Lando. I've heard fans on Reddit make the argument that it's going to focus on Lando after the rise of Skywalker, which could explain that final sequence with Janna where he says, "Let's find out where you come from." The official StarWars.com description for the show is as follows. Lando Calrissian is the galaxy's smoothest, most notorious scoundrel, and he'll return in a brand new event series for Disney+. It's going to be directed and written by Justin Simien. Now I must say that that's a very controversial decision putting him in charge. The reason I say that is because of the reception to a show that he created for Netflix. And a hell of a lot of people who watched it called that out. But let's see what he does with this. It could turn out that Star Wars is his ballpark. I'm rooting for him and for all of the upcoming shows no matter who they're written by. So now we have to ask the question, who is going to appear that we know in the Lando series? The first and most obvious one is Han Solo. If Donald Glover is the one reprising his role as the younger version of Lando, then it would be a no-brainer to reteam him with Alden Ehrenreich's younger version of Han. Now it is a long shot, but if the series fills in any of the gaps between episodes 6 and 7, then Harrison Ford could even appear as Han during the New Republic era. But Disney and Lucasfilm would have to bribe him with a lot of money. The next one is Wedge Antilles, someone who is poised probably to appear in Rangers of the New Republic. Although he was only given a few brief scenes in the original trilogy, Wedge Antilles was one of the most integral figures in the Rebellion and later the Resistance. Wedge was seen aboard the Falcon with Lando and Chewie when they brought the civilian fleet to Exegol in the final battle of Episode 9. Bringing him into the series would be phenomenal. Next up we have Luke Skywalker. When he resurfaced in Episode 9, Lando says that he and Luke went to Pisana in search for the Sith dagger. The new Lando series is the perfect opportunity to fill in this backstory, or at least further refine Luke and Lando's little scene dynamic in the originals. Next up we have Boba Fett. Depending on where in the galactic timeline the Lando series does take place, Temuera Morrison's cool new portrayal of Boba Fett could cross over for an appearance in Lando. It would be just like we saw in The Empire Strikes Back. Next up we have Leia Organa. This is another no-brainer one, but one which is unlikely, and again like I say, I do think it would damage Carrie Fisher's legacy if they did include her. Of course then we have Chewie, and finally L337. This is a controversial pick from Solo: A Star Wars Story. This was the droid that was all about droid rights and was implying a droid-human relationship with Lando. If she's going to appear in Lando's new series, it would need to be in pre-Solo flashbacks. Yeah, maybe it's not a good idea to include her. But what do you guys think? Who do you want to see in Lando, and are you looking forward to the series? Let me know all your thoughts of this news update in the comments down below. I really look forward to hearing them. I'm Star Wars Meg, and I'm wishing you all a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.